So, Crimes of Grindelwald. Number one, it definitely suffers from being the second movie out of five. It's definitely like the Age of Ultron of the series, where it's just a lot of setup for things to come in the future. Um, there was just too much going on. I was personally overwhelmed by all the just the dump of information that was just given to us, especially with the Lestrange family. Like it wasn't until like the second or third time that I saw it that I was like, oh, okay, so that's what's going on. um, it was just a lot, and I think that once all the movies are out and we have the ability to binge watch them all at the same time, we'll forget that this wasn't the perfect movie because we'll have follow-up videos to answer our questions rather than us just being left in the dark like WTF what just happened. um I really didn't spoiler alert, but I really didn't like the Aurelius Dumbledore reveal because I feel like there's more to it than we know. I don't think that Credence is Dumbledore's brother at all. Like honestly, I think there's more to it than that. And I could buy cousin if we were told that they were cousins. I would buy it. But I did research on like the parents, on Dumbledore's parents. I did research on the family itself, and it's just like but I'm not gonna like worry about it too much because there are three more movies to clear this up, so I'll just hold on to that for now. I really didn't like Queenie's story. I thought like her choice just came out of nowhere, and I wish we knew more about her to really understand why she made the choice that she did because it just seemed out of place to me. She might be like in a spell or something that made her choose like that made her go to the dark side because she had Jacob and Tina. Like why would she just go, you know what? I'm going for the greater good or whatever. Like why? Um I I also think that Jacob was a little underused, but I think that was to be expected because he's just a little muggle. But he was there for emotional support when Newt needed it most, and I think, that's what we could expect from him for a while. I'm really interested to see where his character goes in the future movies because just because he's a muggle doesn't mean he can't do anything. So I think he'll have more importance in the future, which I'm hoping for because I really like him. And even I did say that I hated Credence and Queenie stories, but I do want to say that the actors did a good job. I think the whole cast in general is just really good, and even though I didn't like their storylines, Ezra Miller and Alison Sudol are good. You guys are good. They're fantastic. Um, that was pretty much what I hated about the movie, or not hated, but like I didn't really agree with. But what I loved about it is everything else. Jude Law as Dumbledore was good. I'm really excited to see how he portrays Jude Law within the next few movies, and how he transitions to this really nice guy in a suit to the flamboyant robe long beard dude that we know and love. Um, Johnny Depp wields the Elder Wand. I never thought I'd say those words out loud, to be honest. He gave me chills. I know a lot of people were like, ugh, Johnny Depp sucks. Why did they choose him for Grindelwald? He was a good choice. I got chills multiple times watching the movie, especially in the speech scene where he was like, that's what we're fighting, the arrogance, and like how he delivered that line, I was like, oh my god, he's so good. He's so creepy. Like this is probably one of the creepiest roles that I've personally seen him do, and I love it. I'm so excited to see him in the next movies. Like he's a really good addition. Um, I love Nagini. I really like the actress. I think she's darling, and I like the character. I like Nagini. I think she's the most mysterious thing that in the movie. And we're just given, we're just like, hey, here's Nagini, and that's it. That's all we get. We don't get anything else. So we literally don't know anything. And honestly, I don't think they'd be able to fit anything more because they were so busy with everything else in the movie. So I'm interested to see where Nagini goes and how she turns into Voldemort's pet. That's probably the biggest mystery of them all. So I'm excited to see more of her. Nicolas Flamel was like, he was a beast. That scene when he came in the graveyard and he was like, wands on the earth, we gather in a circle. But your wands on the earth, we need to stop up before Paris perishes. That was like, that was the best scene in the whole movie. And then they dug their wands. They were like finite, and they like stabbed the ground with their wands. And then like the whole fire versus fire thing. That was like the most beautiful, spectacular, magical, epic scene that I've ever seen in any Wizarding World movie. Like my favorite scene, like my favorite used to be Voldemort versus Dumbledore, but this beats that totally. And I every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh my god, like my jaws just open the whole time because it's just so beautiful, and it just makes me realize like this is why I love magic. This is what I love these movies for. So that's like my favorite scene. I saw it in IMAX too, so I was able to see like the HD. Oh my god, it's so good, so good. I don't know, it's so good. Um, what else was good about this movie? There's a lot of good things about this movie. Newtina, I ship them so hard. Eddie Redmayne, Newt Scamander is just so head over heels over Tina. Like, Dumbledore's like, oh, Newt, I want you to go to Paris so you can find Credence and help him. Newt's like, no. But then he's like, oh, wait, Tina's in France? Are you kidding me? So he risked his life and risked going to Azkaban just to find Tina in Paris. And he carries her picture, in his pocket, just like he did with Lita. That just kind of proved, Tina, you're his girl. Okay, don't worry. And like the salamander scene just kills me every time. Like I shed a tear every time I watch it. It's so adorable, and I like salamander eyes just have a totally different meaning in my life now. So thank you, J.K. Rowling, for ruining me. It's just like I'm so glad. I'm so excited because like we know they get married at some point, and it's just so cute to see their adorable journey into romance with each other. And oh my god, I'm gonna stop talking before I babble on about how adorable they are. um, Speaking of Newtina, I thought Catherine Waterston was really good. Um, she's adorable in her own right. I also like her salamander eyes. But what really, really made the film was Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander. I think he really made the first film too, and I think he's really just the reason why this series is just so great already, because Newt Scamander is this Hufflepuff hero, number one. Number two, he's just trying to find his way in the world. He just wants to spend time with his animals and just mind his own business and stay in his little corner away from the rest of the world. And he's being dragged into all of this, but he doesn't question anything. He just goes for it, and I think he's so lovable. I've said this before. He is the most precious angel bean cinnamon roll of a character that J.K. Rowling has ever created. He's very sweet and kind, but he's also down to jump into danger when he's needed to, which I think that's literally the definition of a Hufflepuff. If you look at the first Sorting Hat song, just and loyal and unafraid of toil, that's Newt Scamander. And as a Hufflepuff, I personally love that, and I relate to him so much. you know, from his social quirks, you know, everything about him I just love. And Eddie Redmayne is just such an amazing actor. Like, I think he really just brings it home. Um, you know, overall, I thought the movie was pretty great. It did have its flaws, but there's 3 movies to go, and I feel like I think throughout the whole video, I'm just like, I'm excited for this, I'm excited for that, because there's just so much more to come, and that's what I like this movie for, is that it promises more. So, those are my thoughts. I enjoy it probably more than others. Um, I see a lot of negative comments on the internet, but I also see a lot of positive, like surprisingly a lot of positive comments about this movie. So it it might have had some haters, but overall I think it had a positive outcome. And you know, I trust J.K. Rowling to tell whatever story that she wants to tell, and you know, I'm just enjoying every second of the ride. So yeah, that was my review. Hufflepuff out.